You might be thinking, Cliff, how on earth do you manage to run a company with 100 people working internationally, train daily, write music, create content on YouTube, and travel all around the world all at the same time? Well, it's very simple. I do it by focusing on the right things. And in today's video, I'm gonna share those things with you so you can start doing it as well. Number 1, build habits. Habits will make it so that doing hard things becomes effortless. For example, let's say you want to get really into working out. If you just develop a habit of you don't do anything until you go to the gym, it's not a decision you have to make. It just organically happens. So in the same way that if I burn myself, I pull my hand away, like if I'm tired, I go to the gym. If I'm awake, I go to the gym. There just isn't a day when I don't do it. Pick the things that you want to incorporate in your life and just make them into daily rituals. Number 2, focus on the things that give you energy and don't focus on the things that don't give you energy. I used to have a CEO coach, and one of the things he wants all of his CEOs to do is to maintain inbox 0 in their email. And I tried to do this, and I forced myself to do this for a week, 2 weeks, and by the end of the 2 weeks, I got sick, like physically ill. It was just too much stuff to do for my ADHD brain. And so you should know yourself and figure out what are the things that give you energy, uniquely will give you energy, but might not give other people energy. So for example, for me, I can work at like 3 in the morning and be super energized. Like especially when, for example, I'm writing music, I will go to a coffee shop and I will sit there from like 8 p.m. to 4 in the morning, just hacking on stuff and trying to figure out how to make specific lyrics fit together. Some people are not night owls. Some people really get energy from waking up in the morning. So find the thing that works really well for you. Next up, track your happiness. Track it literally on a Google Sheet or on a notes file or anywhere, but 3 times a day, check in with yourself. Where's my energy level from a scale of 1 to 10? And if you see things that are taking away energy from you consistently, remove them from your life. Here's a good example. There was a certain point in 2018 where I started to feel a lot less energy than I do normally. So I did a time audit. I built a Google Sheet where every single day and in every 30-minute increment, I wrote what I was doing during that time. Was I asleep? Was I running? Was I driving? Was I eating? Was I working on SEO optimization? And I realized, number 1, I was spending a lot more time helping other people than I thought. So the first thing that I did is I consciously reduced that time a little bit. The second thing I realized is I was spending a lot less time on listening to audiobooks than I currently enjoy because I was having a commute from Palo Alto to San Francisco I was doing every day. So I made an agreement with the people in the car, hey, we're gonna listen to audiobooks during this time. But this way I unlocked 2 hours a day where I could listen to audiobooks. And that's something that I know gives me a lot of energy. Once you do this energy audit, happiness audit, you start to little by little get yourself to a level where your day is streamlined. You have the habits that you want, you don't have the habits that you don't want. And once you have 1 perfect week, 2 perfect weeks, 3 perfect weeks, Newton's first law, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. Next up, I count my macronutrients and I make sure to eat 1.3 grams of protein per pound of body weight. I typically eat about 60 grams of fat per day and I eat enough carbs. I find that for my body, eating high protein gives me a lot of energy and it makes me really happy and it makes me move very clean. So play with your diet to figure out what gives you the maximum amount of energy. For me, it's high protein, slightly lower fats, and not eating dairy. On the topic of sleep, this is probably my worst habit. So when I was 23, I decided I was going to solve it. I made it a goal that I would go to sleep by midnight every single day. So what I did is I went to Costco and I bought this big safe. And every night at 11:30 p.m., I would lock my computer inside the safe and I would lock my phone inside of the safe. And I took the key and I put it inside of a time lock box. And so what I would do is I would go to the gym, I'd come back from the gym, I'd lock my laptop, I'd lock my phone, I'd have a shower, I'd make a protein shake, and then I would journal for a little bit, maybe play some music, and then I would go to sleep. And then I went to this trip to Israel with a bunch of other people from the Forbes 30 Under 30 group. And I found that I had way more energy when I slept 5 hours, but was around people I loved and worked out every day than when I was sleeping 8 hours a day. So I decided, hey, at least for this portion of my life, I find that this is not what's the thing that's yielding the most energy. Now, I highly encourage sleeping 8 to 9 hours a day. All the science indicates that it's key to sleep. If you don't do this, you're setting yourself up for Alzheimer's and dementia and a bunch of other diseases when you get older, and you'll get them younger than you otherwise would. So when I don't sleep, I think of it as stealing hours and days from future Cliff. And finally, know yourself. Not only what foods are the best for you, what sleep cycle is the best for you, but also, how to function through the day in a way that is optimizing your energy. One very good example is reading takes me a lot of energy. It makes me tired. I want to sleep inside the book. So I use Speechify to listen to everything. Speechify helps you read faster, whether it be emails or web pages or books, while consuming less brain energy from you. If you want to try Speechify, click the link below. And with that, happy listening.